To the people who have deleted all their social media accounts, except Reddit, how has your life changed for better or worse, and do you miss it? I honestly don't miss them at all. I feel a lot more free. I feel less anxious at it. I'm glad a lot of you guys are feeling better without social media. Definitely. Being free from social media and not constantly comparing yourself to others while browsing top 0.01% of other people's lives is so liberating. I deleted all of my social media in my sophomore year of high school. I felt really free. Social media really takes a jab at my mental health. I didn't discover Reddit for 7 long years. But in that time I started reintegration into social media to a degree. I tried Instagram. But it started to weigh on me. I just recently set up a LinkedIn and a professional Facebook. But I have to set clear boundaries with myself. I don't know why. But Reddit doesn't trigger me as much. Even though the community is just overflowing with incredible people who I could never compare to in any meaningful way. I just don't find myself trying to measure my life next to others. Maybe it's the feeling of anonymity Reddit allows you. Wish I'd switched to Reddit sooner. In hindsight, Instagram didn't have the best influence on me at all. Did myself a favor by being on Reddit full time. I have an Instagram, but I think it depends on how you use it. I don't follow influencers and only use it for art purposes. To see people's creations or post my own. It is really a lot more healthy using it as an art app rather than as a social media app. After 10 years of being a heavy Facebook user, I started slowly backing off in 2018. I disabled it a couple of times, and then when I was ready, I downloaded all the content and actually got one of those books made. It was pretty cool, and just deleted it. Best decision I'd ever made. Sad. But I didn't miss it. I've recently moved away from my family, so I got an IG and a Facebook to share pictures, and that's pretty much the only time I'm on either. Every time I get on Facebook for longer than a few seconds, I just get so angry at the stupidity. Not like I'm super smart or anything, but just the way people flaunt their stupidity makes me so damned angry. Twitter. Watch strangers overreact to the news. Facebook. Watch your friends pretend life is better than it is. Insta. Watch strangers pretend life is better than it is. LinkedIn. Watch former co-workers pretend they know how business should operate. Reddit. Anonymous people chatting normally with anonymous people. I gave everything up except Instagram. But leaving FB and Twitter a few years back was f-king liberating. Instagram is sadly turning into Facebook in my opinion. People used to just post photos and move along. It's slowly been shifting to the same dumb shit I left Facebook for. I deleted Instagram around 4 weeks ago, and I have not felt more at peace. I was not that active anyway, but Instagram is one toxic social media platform. I think it's great. Although if you don't use it properly, it's definitely easy to get flooded with toxic BS. I actually feel fantastic. So much lighter or something. I actually didn't realize how draining they all were until I deleted them either. And with Reddit, I've set a timer so I don't end up sucked in or using it as a replacement. I've just gotten into the habit of using it for finding out information or talking to people about hobbies I have. So, I've kinda changed how I use this too. But yeah, it's been so good for my mental health and don't miss it at all. I'm now a no drama llama. And it's wonderful. It was hard at first. But now I honestly don't even miss it. The constant urge to check for notifications has faded away too. I quit social media 2012 and never looked back. It's just a spam feed tbh. Worst part about social media is people debating online with people they don't know. Who the FCK cares? I work with teenagers and observe sometimes how obsessed they are with getting likes and how they value themselves and others based on how many likes follower there are. I feel sorry for them growing up like this. I think social media is bad for society. I believe it changed my life in a positive way. There is no more comparing yourself to others. A lot of people try to flex online when their life is actually boring or all their materialistic items are purchased on credit. Without social media you're more likely to focus on yourself, not to mention the wasted time spent endlessly scrolling. Well, I am actually very happy that I left both Instagram and Facebook long ago. Although I still use Twitter as it provides latest info and some key instincts on various topics. Instagram and Facebook are kind of a show-off place. And it makes you want unnecessary things just for the sake of likes and followers. So I would not recommend using both the sites as it affects your mental health so fking bad that you'll end up feeling left out or depressed. Although Twitter also has lots of negativity, but if you are able to keep yourself away from the political debates then Twitter is very informative. It's extremely liberating, especially at first, and now I just honestly forget that social media exists until somebody tells me they saw something on Facebook. The main benefit of not having socials is you no longer have that fear of missing out and don't spend unnecessary time lurking profiles of people you barely know and don't care at all about. In hindsight, that's the biggest drawback, time waster of social media. It's one thing to follow friends and people you care about, or even celebrities, influencers who motivate and inspire you. But all those hundreds of friends you accumulate over the years who you met once and maybe have a couple of friends in common are just useless noise. If you've had Facebook for a while and are thinking of deleting it, I highly recommend spending some time going through old photos and saving the ones you like. I did that and I'm so glad I did. Honestly, one of the best decisions I made. People even tend to be shocked I, 20F, don't have social media. I don't miss it. In fact, I feel like a haze has been lifted from my eyes. I spend more time outside and doing things with my kids. I read more. Watch more things that I enjoy. I've picked up a couple more hobbies. I'm also less stressed and less depressed. Whether you think you do or not, you compare your life against those around you. And when you're constantly assaulted by shit on social media, well, it will make you miserable. Honestly, I get rid of the grass is greener over there syndrome. Also, the feeling of missing out is gone. My partner is very into social media. She's on Instagram a lot. I don't have any problem with it. But she said it was very important to her and wanted me to be involved, so I gave it a solid effort. Long story short, I hated how fake it was and the personalities we try to cultivate online. She's still active online. And I'm not. I've been very happy since deleting it. I'll probably give it another shot somewhere down the line, but it'll be about things I love doing and not about trying to make my life out to be something it's not. I personally never signed up for anything of it except this. I think I had a Twitter to sign up for this old house raffle or something like 5 years ago. Never went back to it. Seems people get too wound up into that stuff. I just got so bored of it. Like, I grew up. I had all the Instagram accounts. A personal one, a business one and a hobby one. I still have my business and hobby one, but even they're neglected now. I just lost interest in what everyone was posting because it was all the same. I got so tired of the fakeness and competitive undertone everyone has on there. Twitter is too political and full of bullshit. And Facebook is full of Karens. I still have a Facebook account for the sake of the marketplace though. But I haven't posted a status for years. It feels good to not have to engage with those kind of people. I also don't feel pressured to have to share every little detail of my life to a bunch of followers who don't even care. Like I was some kind of minor celebrity. They were all just distractions at best. I don't miss any of them. I simply found more productive things to pass the time. Hell, I often consider getting off of Reddit too. But I can at least learn things from here and occasionally have interesting conversations or help others. I never decided to hop on the bandwagon for Facebook or Twitter or anything. I use Reddit mostly to read the wild lies that people on AskReddit and legal advice say. So I don't really consider it that much of a social media site, since I don't really keep up with any particular user. Though I do use Discord to chat with friends. Not sure if this counts. Anyways, I think it contributes to my generally positive outlook on those around me, the average person. I don't read the crazy ramblings of high school friends or the president or anyone like that. So I just live in my relatively happy bubble of friends, and I hope that the people outside of my sphere of influence are about as happy and likable as the ones I choose to associate with. I find this notation humorous. Social media is what you make it. Lots of BS. Anjuri. Fake shit on Facebook. Unfriend them and stay connected with friends and family. Lots of fake models. Insta thoughts and no reason celebrities on Insta. Unfollow them and follow the people who motivate you to better yourself. Anjuri. Trolling. Racist. Ungrateful people on Reddit. Change the subs you follow. All of these platforms have problems. However, we make the problems ourselves. I honestly recommend it 110%. If you are anything like me, you find yourself scrolling aimlessly through fake news and people trying to get Instagram famous and then sit there reflecting in a state of self-hatred and anxiety. I have kept an Instagram account to post wholesome photos of my bunny doing things that bunnies do, but the rest have gone and I feel so free. I have made time to do the things I enjoy and have actively seen my mental health improve. Started painting again. And just genuinely enjoy everything in life more. For me, social media sucks my life force and positivity, and by removing most of it from my life I have found time to reconnect with the people that mean the most to me, and I am not being distracted by useless superficial nonsense. As for missing it, sometimes when I'm trying to drag up photos from the past to show people, but most people have social media, and if they are interested enough to want to see it, they are free people and can go look themselves as the accounts are still active. If you are feeling the need to delete your social media, do it. What's the worst thing that can happen? You miss some titties on your feed? So much better. The amount of hyper-biased news on every form of social media filled me with anxiety and rage that I just don't need. And in all honesty, I think the improvement would be complete if I removed all news-related subreddits from my feed. I know I should stay informed, but a once-a-day visit to an extremely reputable site produced by real journalists would be ideal. I don't get frustrated with family or friends who make ignorant statements online. No urge to check in on the ex and see what she's up to. It's a better existence. I've missed some group invites, but otherwise it's been good. I hugely recommend to get out of Facebook. It's such a huge boost in your life. If I had to go back to Facebook, it would be with a business account. And nothing personal on there. I could get sick of seeing other people still on Facebook, having to go through seeing other people's life so many times, only the good parts. It's insane how it's normalized. I haven't been on Facebook for a few years now. Never had Insta. Got Reddit to boost my channel in the beginning. I use Twitter but less nowadays. As a photographer, I predominantly use Instagram, but man, every now and again I have to deactivate it just to get away. If I'm not actively posting, I'm just mindless scrolling. Otherwise, it was great to delete Facebook. Even though I'm in control of who I have as friends, sometimes you just don't want to read the banter that close friends or family post. Once you have less social media, you'll also find less reasons to be on your phone so much. LPT. Look at the pickup data in your iPhone screen time to disgust yourself with how much you actually touch your phone. Anyhow, I think less anxious. The subconscious comparing yourself to others, good or bad, is so real. Read a book. As someone that had no social media except Reddit until 2 years ago, no, I actually enjoy the shitposting and stuff on FB. It helps me show friends back home what's up. Messenger is fun for overseas peeps and whatnot. I also use Insta to show my mountain bike pics and the beautiful scenery to my friends. I guess I don't use it like most people do, but to communicate what's going on in my life and to see what's going on in theirs. 100% changed for the better. I was cringing at 90% of people's posts, anti-vaxxers, racists, Karens, Darrens, Instagram sluts. The list goes on. It was making me lose faith in humanity. And quite frankly making me somewhat depressed. I decided enough was enough. And it was time to get rid of all of my social media accounts. I wanted to stay in the loop with current trends. global news events, as well as humorous posts. So here I am. Close bracket. I'm less angry at the world. I was just talking with my buddy about this. Social media is designed in such a way to keep you active and scrolling. Currently, anger keeps us more engaged than ever before. Life is a lot more peaceful. With the pandemic situation, my feeds just turned into arguments and propaganda everywhere. Everyone had become so toxic as people feel they can say whatever they want from behind their phones' keyboards. It takes a little time to adjust getting used to not checking an app anymore, but after a month away, I can say I prefer life without social media. I'll never go back to it. Once I hit what I felt was rock bottom for me, I 86'd it without a second thought. It's helped my anxiety tremendously. Never realized just how much of that came from my mindless scrolling. All in all, it's worth taking a step back from. You definitely don't bump into people spreading hate or fake news. Especially in times like these. Helps a ton with mental health. Besides, quality posts are very rare. I only keep Instagram because I follow some martial artists, boxers, singers, etc. There's definitely a lot less drama. I stopped going on Facebook a long time ago and only have my account for relatives who live far. I will check it every now and then to see if they're messaging me and might scroll down my feed or whatever for a few minutes. So many dumb posts about politics and this and that, it's so freeing to be cleansed of social media. I got rid of everything except this because I see all I could ever need on this. If people need to get a hold of me, they know how. There's so much more on Reddit than there could ever be on anything else without all the bullshit. No drama. No creepy dudes in my DMs. I'm content to say the least. My accounts are still there but I don't use them. It's been over a year now. Instagram got depressing with everyone posting their vacations and the like. Meanwhile, I can never really go anywhere like that. And Facebook is a political shitty show. Never touch Twitter and never will. I can't even describe the liberating feeling of not being attached to my phone all the time. I only keep in contact with the people I want to. I got so sick of getting roped into drama and tagged in this picture at this event. I like to be invisible and just blend with crowds. Then a chat from high school try to reach out and be friendly. Like, bitch. Do you remember what you did to me in school? I hate it and it only brought anxiety and drama. Best thing I did. I was getting tired of meeting up with friends and not having anything to say. The reason conversation was hard to come by was simply due to the fact that everyone was already posting their life events all over social media. So many fake people on Facebook who like to portray this perfect life, although I always knew the truth behind this facade. So what's changed for me? I'm finding people now phone me or pop around to see what I'm up to. Proper face-to-face contact. It's fantastic. I wouldn't go back to social media. I'm a lot happier these days. I haven't deleted mine and I still check in with it to see some mental health related posts. But after deleting the apps off my phone, I've definitely felt better and more in touch with my surroundings. I still feel attached to it, so I'm hoping one day I'll shake that feeling and just delete it. I'm glad the people I see in the comments have done it and had a positive outcome. 3. The worst part is when my family assumes I know something because it was on Facebook and I have to remind them that I haven't been on Facebook for a while now. Other than that, it's nice not being obsessed with the constant scrolling and comparing myself to everyone I follow. I have a lot more time for myself to explore my other hobbies and really connect with the people around me. Instead of being with friends or family and checking my phone, I can have great conversations and feel really present. It's almost like a weight has been lifted off of me. I don't miss it at all. It really is more of an addiction than an activity. And that becomes apparent when you quit. My life has changed much more for the better because I don't subject myself to a massive dose of unrealistic comparisons on a routine basis. I'm also much more focused and careful with my attention. Attention is a precious resource of life. To donate it wantonly to social media only so big tech companies can abuse it is absurd.